Hello and welcome to part 2 of the Rouby Riders Grand Tour 2021. We start off in Montenegro and you see the Tara Bridge here. That's Andy crossing it, there's Morton. The Tara Bridge is over the Tara Gorge, which is actually deeper and longer than the Gorge de Verdon in France. This is us riding down the gorge. Pretty spectacular scenery. Pretty wild, high walls either side and nice and windy, plenty of tunnels. We stop in a cafe where you'll see some pictures shortly. And the woman there explained to us that there are wild bears in this area. She showed some photographs from her husband, a video with bears playing not long from where these videos were taken. Now here's me. I went a bit off-piste here by mistake following the Garmin Navigator 5 GPS. Always thinking, well, the guys must be just up ahead. This doesn't seem right, but, well, it is Montenegro, we are in the wilds. But then I realised that I'd made a wrong turning. This meant a big catch-up. I was an hour behind the guys at this point, caught up after lunch, and we rode down to this beautiful place. This is Skadar Lake. On the border with Albania. Absolutely stunning. I don't think I've seen anything so beautiful in my life. Really, really nice. The guys together. From there we rode down to Budva, which is the sea resort on the Adriatic. And this is just a brief. You see this change in scenery here. The guys ahead of me as we ride down to the sea. And Budva is just a typical Adriatic resort. Nothing special. We had a hotel with a nice rooftop terrace, which we didn't have access to till the morning. But the next day, we rode around the Bay of Kotar. Now, this was just really beautiful, absolutely stunning. This is the inland sea of Kotar, the Kotar Inland Sea. Kotar's in the background there, you can just see it. But this road is just beautiful. This is speeded up, all the videos are speeded up as normal here. The video went on and on. I cut it short just to save time. Morton in the corner there. This is all in the Bay of Kotar, us having a lunch. Just absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful here. You have to go there. Lots of cruise ships do go there. Really, really beautiful. This is it in Kotar again. From there, we rode down across the border back into Croatia, and you'll very shortly see a very common view, a well-known view, and there's Dubrovnik, where we stayed 2 days. So we had a day exploring Dubrovnik, and this is us in the centre. We paid to walk around the city walls, so most of these photographs are taken from the city walls, and you can see the walls there. Dubrovnik, absolutely stunning, a really beautiful place. It's really worth a visit. It's just what you see on television. It looks just as these pictures. It's beautiful, it really is. But so saying, I couldn't spend more than a couple of days there. Once you've seen the old city, and that was it, you've seen it. This was the sunsets from our hotel on the islands there. From there, we rode up the coast, and we'd ridden really from Budva all the way up to Trieste, or we'll ride up to Trieste with the Adriatic on our left. A beautiful road, windy, you can see it's like this, you see the islands on the left there. It's very, very nice. It really is. It's hard to say anything against it. Smooth, fast. It took us a good while to figure out what the speed limits were because no one was keeping to them, and eventually we weren't either. This is speeded up as normal, but still we were not keeping to the speed limits, apart from through the towns. Even then, people were passing us. The speed limits were, I think, as a whole, were about 60 kilometres per hour, and people were going past us. That's 40 miles an hour in UK language, imperial language. Again, this was our lunch stop. We stopped just along here and had a little picnic. It really is beautiful. Yeah, see, one of the bikes just turned to the left there. This is Vodis, where we stayed the night. Vodis was like a lovely little town. We had a pizzeria. That's Vodis at night. A really, really nice place to stop. The next day, riding on. Again, you see the Adriatic. There's the guy that's me in the background. This was a coffee stop. The guys picked up those fish, just were loading it from their boat. It seemed a never-ending supply of fish. This is the following day. I think this is a Sunday. Speeded up as always, but the speed people were riding at and the amount of motorbikes that were out cutting corners, you really had to be aware of what you were doing here. Quite a dangerous road. We did hear an ambulance at one point. There was a biker. A lot of crazy driving, that's all I can say about this. I would love to do this road again, but probably during the week rather than over the weekend. We were riding here up to a place called Opatia, where I've been to before. Opatia is a really nice place. This is a lunch stop. The guys in the bend, that was David, there's Jeff, Morton stopped. And this is the view from my balcony in Opatia, looking over a marina. Opatia is very much a resort from the Austrian-Hungarian Empire, a lot of Austrian buildings there, a seaport or sea resort. Now, David was 60 the following day, so we had a surprise birthday for him before we rode up to Lago del Lago in Italy. The run from Opatia to Lago del Lago, or certainly from Trieste up, was very boring, very hard going. If I was to plan it again, I would certainly try and find a motorway rather than drive through the industrial area. But Lago del Lago was a nice place by a lake, as you saw. We had a nice restaurant at night. But it was lovely to get back into the mountains. We stayed Lago del Lago camping 2 nights and rode into the Dolomites. And it was stunning. Lovely roads, over some ski resorts. We really had a lovely time. It really was beautiful. Here's David coming around one of the hairpins. I'd stopped, and I think I've got Jerry coming around the same one next. And here he goes, nice and smooth. It looks half speed, that one, not double speed. And here again, it's the same. Look at the mountains in the background. It really was different scenery. We'd been, just moved from the Adriatic, the coastline, and up back into the mountains. And it was a pleasure to ride here. It really was. Really nice. Great fun. From here we rode along to Lake Garda, and you'll see that very shortly. But we're still in the mountains here. Some hairpins. This is me riding, and very nice, lovely smooth roads. Look at the mountains in the background, and the roads aren't really that busy. A lorry goes by there, but lovely, good condition. Now, we'd been in Italy. Is the second time we'd come into Italy. We hadn't been in the mountains like this the last time, and we were restricted by traffic and speed limits before. But it's lovely to get out into the open and do some mountain passes. Very nice. And here's Morton ahead of me, but this was in the afternoon that same day. Speeded up. As Morton shows me the way to go around all these bends. Again, beautiful scenery, lovely and green, but it would be quite high up here. Now we came down across these hairpins, a cliff really, working our way down, and this is the next day going up these same hairpins. Andy's just ahead of me, and quite amazing. This here going through tunnels, 180-degree turns, along into the next one, and round again, sharp bends. There's traffic lights to stop any traffic coming the other way, so you know you can cut these corners. You have to really, and round up the next one, and quite something else. This really was. Never seen anything like it. And as I said with the first photograph, it's just a way down more or less a cliff, and the road just cut into it, and they put these tunnels there. And there can't be many places in the world with a series of tunnels like this to work your way up through the cliffs, and that's the end there. Here's me coming down to Lake Garda. As I said before, that was the next stop, and that's Lake Garda in the distance. You're now suddenly into a very busy part of the world. Traffic, a lot of traffic, very touristy. This is the north of Lake Garda, and I've been to this town quite often, but never from this angle. We normally come down on the slightly more to the right where those cliffs are. There's tunnels all the way down there. That's the east side, and here's some photographs just from the north, looking down the lake, and a beautiful place. This is the pizza restaurant at night before we went off. But here's another brief view down the lake as I drive down. This is driving down the east side of the lake, and extremely busy, extremely slow. It's about 40 kilometres, 45 kilometres, and that took me an hour and a half to ride down, and the temperatures were about 30 degrees. It was pretty warm. Beautiful, but very busy. This is moving along Lake Como. This is the next day as we worked our way along the lakes in and out of Switzerland. You'll see that's the Swiss border as we went in. Lots of traffic, very slow. And then we arrived at Lake Maggiore, and this is, we stayed 2 nights there, and we relaxed by the lake here. A beautiful lake, really, really nice, lovely stop. It really was. We went into the village and onwards. And this is us. We moved on from there up to Aosta, and this is in the San Bernard Pass. That's the Italian side, and this is the Swiss side, and that's me driving or riding down the Swiss side, down some of the hairpins roads. Again, when you move from the Italian side, the borders at the top, and drop down into Switzerland, you notice a difference in the quality of the roads and the houses. There's a lot more money in Switzerland, obviously. The houses are very Tyrolean, very Swiss picture book, very, very pretty. And high mountains now, because we're in the high Alps, we're not in the Dolomites anymore, and we're really skirting the route to Mont Blanc. Of course, Mont Blanc is the highest mountain in the Alps at about 4,500 metres, which we'll see, as not in this part of the video, but that picture there was looking down the valley of the Rhone up to the Furka Pass in Switzerland. But this is now back into France. You see Mont Blanc is that mountain in the distance there. Just quick snippets as we go down. This is me riding through Argentière again. You saw briefly Mont Blanc, the high one there. And then I think we almost moved to the final couple of videos. I love riding down this road, the Chamonix Valley. It's always stunning with lovely weather riding down here. We stopped for lunch in Chamonix. And here the last video of this trip, or this video collection, is from Megève down to Albertville. I've ridden this quite a few times, and it never fails to please. It's a gorge, and it's a beautiful road. It really is. Lovely riding, smooth, not that busy. You wouldn't want to do it in the winter. We were lucky time-wise. It's nice and sunny. I have ridden up here first thing in the morning, and it's in the shade, which isn't that pleasant. But this is just a lovely road to ride, and if you get the opportunity, I would recommend taking the chance and doing this. Megève is a lovely ski resort, not far from Chamonix. Lovely chalets there, mainly beautiful skiing. And Albertville was where they held the Olympics, Winter Olympics. That was based. They were based in Albertville, but used the resorts for the different activities. From here, we finished off our trip at Albertville. Our idea or our plan was to stay 2 nights at Albertville, but the weather was closing in. It seemed pointless to do so, so we finished our trip at Albertville, and the guys headed north and I headed south. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and look forward to seeing you the next time.